IT Hero Podcast Show. Hey, thank you for tuning in. Episode 6 is not just a podcast, it's more like a deep dive into AWS VPC networking. I had planned this as a demo session, but the guest has actually went 10 level above and did a thorough networking session. So stay tuned, look forward for the demo, and I hope you enjoy the podcast. All the best. And in this show, we have someone who started his career as a Linux admin and moved on to cloud and has an extensive hands on in Linux as well as cloud. And he calls himself as a cloud devotee, and that's the reason I reached out to him. And we are super glad to have Yogendra on the show. Hi, Yogendra.
Hi Prithvi. Hello everyone.
Hi, thank you. So, how's it going?
Yes, all good, Prithvi. So before the continuation of this one, I'd like to congratulate you for initiating this wonderful show because I have seen all the people would bother only about the certification, but no one has even thought of bringing the who's the real-time guy into the show and making them to talk. So this is truly wonderful. I wish you all the very best, and soon I would like to see our in AWS India CEO uh, Avinash Chandok and the AWS CEO Andy Jesse in the show.
Wow.
Definitely, it will happen with your dedication. I can see that. So all the best.
Awesome. Thank you. That's a great compliment I've ever received, Yogendra. Thank you. I hope AWS CEOs get to see the podcast at least. Yeah.
It will
Hopefully
happen.
it
It will happen.
happens. Thank you so much, Yogendra. Now, since you started your career in Linux and you moved on to cloud, do you see any difference or similarities between on-prem networking and cloud networking?
Okay. So if you speak about the networking perspective, the underlying architecture or the technical aspect, how the infrastructure is defined, it will be like close to 90% is same, and only the difference who has seen both the on-prem and the AWS, they would easily define it, just a difference in the services name. So if you take the router in the your on-premises, it is a route table here, that is where all the traffic will be routed, and in separate environment in your data center is, that is what VPC we call it, is just an isolated network in the public cloud.
Okay.
Quite similarities are there, but lot of improvements, profit, and all the advantages are there in cloud.
Nice, nice. So only you're telling that there's going to be difference in terminology, but the underlying architecture is all same.
Definitely. So close to 90%, you would see the familiarity when the on-prem and the AWS. So
Mhm.
that's what the main thing is, name terminologies. Whoever has good hands-on in the on-premises, that would not be a big deal for them to start with the cloud.
Okay, okay. So just for the audience awareness, we are going to talk in specific about AWS and VPC in this podcast show. And we're also going to do something new in our show. It's going to be a lab demo, which we haven't tried it in the past episodes. So stay tuned. In the end, we are going to demo what we speak on the call as of now. So moving on to the next question I have, Yogendra, related to the components of VPC. What are the main components or the building blocks of VPC?
Okay. So main thing, you are isolating your environment in the public cloud. So you need to make sure that the internet traffic should come in and go out. So it starts with the internet gateway. That is one of the important service which needs to be attached to your VPC.
Okay.
And you need to make sure that the traffic, how it should be routed and where to it should be routed. So that is defined through the route table.
Okay.
Apart from that, you need to make sure it is secure and highly available.
Okay.
So for security, you will use security groups, NACL, as well as the route table also.
Okay.
So I would say internet gateway, route table, security group, and the subnet. These four are the crucial components of the VPC.
Okay. Okay. And you said internet gateway is a service. Is it like a different service or it's one of the option that we have to enable?
We need to define a VPC, means launch a VPC and attach it to, launch a internet gateway and attach it to the VPC. So that's how
Oh,
the internet traffic starts to your VPC. If you
okay.
just define VPC is just an empty tunnel.
Uh-huh.
So after that, you will start defining all the services, required services you want.
Okay, okay. So internet gateway, route table, and security group, these are all a part of VPC. This is not like
Exactly.
different services. So
Part
they
of
are
VPC, yes.
okay, okay. Got it. That's what makes VPC, right? Got it. Yeah. I am still learning AWS, and I had to, create security groups, and now I understand why we need security groups. It's kind of similar to VLAN in on-prem, if I'm
Yeah,
not wrong.
that's what. Yes, yes.
Okay.
So you will define that which IP address, which port should be opened,
Uh-huh.
who all would be able to access that application. So
Okay.
that's what you will define in security groups.
Understood. Great. Thank you. And you've cleared a lot of AWS exams, and I see you also have a blog, and
Mhm.
you write a really interesting stuff in your blog. I'm definitely going to put the blog in the link so the listeners can take a look at your
Sure.
blog. And in terms of exam, I have one question. How important is VPC in the exam?
Okay, is it okay if I go with the screening share and
Sure.
showing it?
No problem. Yeah.
The host disabled participant screen sharing.
Okay. I can make you as co-host.
Let
Yeah.
us open the exact AWS exam breakup
Sure.
and we'll just see what it says for security and internet gate. This one.
Awesome. Okay. That sounds
VPC
good.
edit.
I don't have option to make you as co-host, but I'm making you as a host now.
Okay,
Yeah.
no worries.
Great.
Let me know once you're able to see my screen.
We can see. Yeah.
Okay, so if you are particularly concerned or looking towards the exam perspective, so I
Mhm.
opened the Solution Architect Associate page, and
Okay.
if you go on to the breakup, you would see here, so high performance architecture,
Yeah.
security. So you would
Yeah.
say both in both the aspects, the VPC is a part. So if you take it, more than 35% of the questions would be from the VPC. So it
Oh.
is definitely a crucial part, and
Okay.
you should not even think of skipping it.
Hmm.
And I'm moving into the sysops admin.
Okay.
If you can see here, networking, security, deployment, high availability. So I
Hmm.
would say 30 to 35% of questions from the VPC only. Make sure you are strong with this. So what I would say, if
Yeah.
you are able to launch a VPC and private subnet, public subnet, and you are able to connect your private EC2 machine from the public subnet, so you would be good to sit for the exam.
Oh, okay. So 35 percentage, I think it's a high number, so it's a really crucial part in the exam.
Exactly.
Got it. Now you just told about spinning up a EC2 instance and connecting with private IP or private segment. Now, can you give us a theoretical idea of how EC2 and VPC communicates?
Okay. Again, I will go with the share screen.
Okay, I think you can
So
keep it shared.
because it is well prepared. Yeah, see here, this is what the diagram I have defined.
Okay,
You can use draw.io website, and some other website is also there. You can
okay.
define whatever you will get the things AWS related, all the diagrams you will get it over here.
Oh, nice.
Uh, okay, so putting all of your previous questions in one, I will start explaining this. So
Okay.
this is AWS cloud. The entire cloud is here, the black
Uh-huh.
one.
Hmm.
Inside we have a particular region. So I have defined everything in the US East. It is Ohio region.
Okay.
Inside that I have my VPC. So in the public cloud, we have isolated our infrastructure.
Okay.
So in the VPC, you need to make sure it is highly available, right?
Mhm.
And specific to your question, you are saying how the communication happens with the
Yeah.
EC2 and VPC. It is that you will launch all your services inside the VPC, right? You
Okay.
can see here. So this is the VPC and this is my CIDR block. Inside
Mhm.
that, I have defined two public subnet. Green are the public one and
Okay.
blue are the private one.
Hmm.
So this is my application server where nobody has access to it, and it does not have access either to the outside world as well until unless you define it.
Okay.
Suppose if you want any of the upgradations or installations needs,
Yeah.
so that is where we define the NAT gateway, and it acts as a forward proxy.
Okay.
This is my private machine and you want to communicate with this. So for that, I will launch a jump host. We call it as a Bastion host that will
Okay.
be in the public subnet.
Mm-hmm.
Everything we launch in the public subnet will have access to internet. Okay, so
Okay.
at that time, you no need to worry because all the services in the public subnet are able to communicate to internet.
Mm-hmm.
Suppose if you want to communicate from the Bastion host to the EC2 machine, so
Yeah.
we will define it. So the traffic should go from here to here and it should accept the security group, the red color
Yeah. Yeah.
dotted line. This is the security group. And here you will allow
Mm-hmm.
the IP address or the security group of this one
Mm-hmm.
to be accepted from this security group. So that is what we call security group layering.
Okay.
Right, if you dig deep, we have plenty of services as well as the layering of the things just
Yeah.
for the by considering audience are freshers or the beginners will not make it complicated. We'll
Okay.
go with the simple thing. So this is high availability and I have defined public subnet, private subnet, one machine in each private subnet. I'll communicate to this machine via my Bastion host. In case the private machine wants to communicate to the internet, it will go through the NAT gateway. So we'll see it entire thing in the our hands-on thing.
Okay. Great. The diagram is really you break down things and put it in one diagram. So good job, Yogendra. Even I had learned about it, but now I get a complete holistic view of how the setup would
Yeah,
look
just
like.
going with just if I say internet gateway route table,
Yeah.
that this people
Yeah.
will be lost.
True.
If that's what I thought of showing the picture and keep on explaining. At least
Good.
10%, if
Yeah.
they understand this,
Yeah.
this show will be worth of it.
Nice. Now I have one question related to security. Although we have security group and we are layering it, it's in the public, right? How secure it is? Like totally, we're putting like, let's say I'm a banking customer. Do I need to worry about security because it's in the public?
Okay, so that is what we define here. So just to make sure people understand here, I have defined the public subnet. So in the live environment, in the production environment, there will be no resources in public subnet.
Ah.
Only you will go with the auto scaling and the load balancer. So load balancer is something which balances the loads of the incoming traffic.
Mhm.
Only load balancer will be opened with the port 80 or 443,
Okay.
and entire thing, the traffic will be communicated through the load balancer. Not defined it here. So
Okay.
if you ask me how secure it is, if you take the 3-tier architecture, what we will define, the first thing is web tier, then the
Mhm.
application tier and the
Yeah.
database tier. All
Yeah.
will be put up in the private subnet. So
Okay.
nowhere the instances or the services in the private subnet will have communication to the internet. So we are secure there,
Mm-hmm.
and we allow only the known services or known IP address, the entire CIDR block. If you can see here, so I will define a security group saying that 10.0.0/26.
Yeah.
Only the traffic within this should be able to communicate with my services. So we are again secure.
Yeah.
And talking apart from these services, we have plenty of services like that make sure your VPC and the services are secure. So
Okay.
they are CloudWatch,
Okay.
CloudTrail, VPC flow logs, guard duty. Everything will monitor your traffic, incoming and outgoing traffic. So if you move on to the next level, whenever we will define the VPC flow log, and all the logs will be sent to an S3 bucket. So there we will make sure if any the high load traffic or the unknown traffic is trying to enter, we will trigger an alert and immediately security team will be alerted on that, action will be taken. So, and also you might have seen this AWS is already certified with all the security aspect, and it is highly secure. There are some flaws which are like recently might have come across, but people should understand what are the shared responsibilities. So that means what is my responsibility as a user, and what are the responsibility of the AWS.
Okay.
Right, underlying infrastructure, the hardware, everything would be taken care from when you go with the infrastructure as a service. So that is taken care from the AWS side. So they are not worried about your software, what are the applications you are running. So if there is a flaw in your application, so that is a fault from my end.
Okay.
So there are plenty of use cases which needs to be taken into consideration and define your services.
Makes sense. Yeah. That's a beautiful answer about security. I am from the on-prem community, I should say, or I've developed my skill set completely inside on-prem. I know networking, security, all in the data center, but I was always, I had for banking customers and all, they don't move to cloud so easily. But now looking at your explanation and the security services that we have, I think they should take, leverage cloud. And also there are a lot of compliance, but still I can see that CloudWatch and Guardrail, these are the applications or services that gives you more secure environment. Yeah, good, Yagendra,
Exactly.
thanks.
So even the government authorities are moving into cloud. So
Okay.
recently, Azure has won the project with the US military. You must be
Oh,
knowing how secure they would be operating, right?
yeah,
And if you are seeing that they are ready to move to cloud, why not the other?
yeah,
So as per my understanding, recently I had come across close to only 30-35% of the enterprises have moved to cloud.
yeah,
So we have plenty of things to be moved into cloud.
yeah,
It will take time.
absolutely. And I've seen, I worked in a project for a US based bank. They moved to cloud and they realized they have a lot of potential. And they recommended another customer in the same company where I worked, and they took their customer as well. So people get to, understand the benefits. They automatically move. Yeah.
Definitely.
And in terms of billing in VPC, if I play with VPC here and there, what all can cost me in VPC?
Okay. So VPC, as I told, it is just a tunnel.
Yeah,
It is free.
it's free. Okay.
The billing depends upon what services you launch.
Okay.
Right? VPC is free. Internet gateway is free. Route table is free. SegNet, security, these services are free.
Okay.
Whenever you launch a NAT gateway, so for that you need an Elastic IP.
Okay.
So there
Okay.
billing start. That too, if you have an Elastic IP and it is not associated with any of the machine which is running,
Hmm.
until unless the machine is not running and you still hold the Elastic IP, you will be
Hmm.
charged.
Oh.
Suppose the machine is running and you have attached the Elastic IP, you will not be charged.
Oh, what is
So
this?
there
It's
are
okay.
multiple aspects which needs to be considered.
Okay.
Go, I would suggest or request audience to go through the AWS VPC pricing document, the
Okay.
official document,
Hmm.
and the data transmission also charged.
Okay.
You can cut down your cost to very minimalistic only when you are aware what are charged and what will not be charged.
Yeah. True. Got it. So in terms of speed, right? I am using 1 gigabit Ethernet card, and I want to go with 10 gigabits. Is there a pricing for that as well if I increase the speed of my network connection?
So it depends upon what all the services you are running. So let
Okay.
me take EC2 services.
Okay.
There are T2 micro, M4 large,
Yeah.
C6X large. So differences are there. So the cost varies as per your services which you pick.
Okay. Okay.
Obviously, if you want a high speed, you should
Hmm.
pay.
Okay.
It varies, as you said, it varies.
Got it. So there's free limit only at a certain point. I think after that you have to pay. Got it.
Exactly.
Got it. I had a different question about how granular you can get into inside configuring VPC. I think you partially answered that in the shared responsibility. I think only at one point you are not able to configure the switch because you're using infrastructure as a service. You cannot test the router or the networking components beneath that. Am I correct?
So the underlying what you're saying, infrastructure as a service, you would not be able to touch it,
Mhm.
but you will feel it by configuring it, right?
Oh,
Okay. Once again, let me share my screen. So you are
yeah.
concerned about how the internet will be routed. So this is where the entire thing happens. So DNS in your on-premises is Route
Mhm.
53 in AWS,
Okay.
right? The
Yeah.
internet comes in, it is the DNS.
Mhm.
Based upon whatever you have defined, it will be routed. There are multiple uh, things which are defined through the Route 53 service. It might be latency-based routing,
Okay.
geos means the location-based routing, just the normal routing, and the availability-based routing.
Okay.
So 5 types of routing are there. If you define the health based routing means the latency based routing. Wherever the services or the applications are reachable at a higher speed, the traffic will be routed there,
Okay.
and health checks would happen, and that is the availability based routing. Suppose this region or this availability zone is down and nothing is reachable from here,
Hmm.
automatically your route 53 make sure all the traffic will be routed to availability zone 2.
Okay.
So we have plenty of mechanism where you can go to the granular fine grind level
Hmm.
and make sure your environment is almost like 100% secure and uptime as well. So if you
Okay.
take the granularity level, I would say three level of security layering you can do. That is, first thing starts with the EC2 machine itself.
Hmm.
So at the OS level, you can define one
Okay.
of the security, and that is at the OS level. And next part is security group. This is at the EC2 machine level, right?
Okay.
And if you come next to that one, we have something called NACL, Network Access Control Layer.
Hmm.
So I have not shown it here, but that is at the entire subnet level.
Okay.
So first thing is your traffic should get through the internet gateway, then
Hmm.
through the NACL, then through security group, then to the machine. So
Okay.
two, three layers of security you can define. You can
Hmm.
touch up to the EC2 machine level as well as the router, DNS, whatever you have in your on premises, everything you
Hmm.
can do here.
Got it. Got it. Now, have you had any situation where something has gone down, like network down? Because in on-prem we get to see like cable issues.
Exactly.
So, do you have had that experiences or issues like that till now in cloud?
Sometimes it happens where you have not defined the high availability. Suppose
Oh,
let me take there is some concept called RTO and RPO, recovery time objective, recovery
yeah,
point objective,
yeah, yeah.
right? So whenever you say banking client, so they won't agree a single minute of a downtime.
Yeah.
So for them, and they should also be ready to spend some money. There
Mm,
are multiple types of like highly available architecture. So this is just a single available a single region one, which what I have defined. There
okay.
might be multiple regions. So
Hmm.
I have this in one region, US is 2. So another entire this exact infrastructure is defined in US is 1,
Okay.
right? So at that time, what we will define, it is active active. It might be active active or active passive based upon whatever the customer is ready for. So
Okay.
they are ready for the 5 minutes of downtime. So we'll
Mm,
put active passive. In the
okay.
secondary one, all services are stopped. They are not running. Only when the primary zone is down, it will be routed there.
Okay.
When it is active active, both the zone services are running. You will be built for both the zones as well,
Mm,
and definitely you will have more uptime.
okay.
So it is
So,
not that you will never come across a downtime in the
mhm,
cloud. There are situations which you will come across
okay.
when you follow the well architected framework, five pillars
Mm,
of well architected framework of the AWS.
okay.
Definitely your headache will be reduced of this
Okay.
downtime, failures, and all.
Okay. So those five pillars, I am curious to know. Maybe I will check that later with you.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah, sure. That is
consi-
cost optimization,
uh,
operational excellence,
uh,
reliability, high availability, and something I also forgot.
it's okay.
Just
Nice.
show you. So operational excellence, security, reliability, cost, and performance.
Uh-huh.
So if you just go through the AWS document, it will explain what is that and what are the like standard procedures to be followed in
Okay.
order to get it success.
Got it. Nice. Now, enough talking. Let's move on to the demo part. Let's play with the VPC, and you can explain what we're going to do.
Let me compare the diagram what I have defined, and we will
Okay.
start working on the same thing.
Okay.
So first thing, we have the AWS cloud. We have region. I have chosen one of the region, that
Okay.
is Ohio, US East 2. And now we will define the VPC.
Okay.
Basically, what is our infrastructure is it's a two-tier architecture, and we have the web machine running here, and it is the application machine running.
Okay.
The public host is just to communicate with the internet or a jump host kind of thing.
Okay.
And the communication to this one, if you want to connect to the private machine, we will connect to the bastion host. In case this private machine wants the internet communication, that will go through the NAT gateway. I will show you the difference, what happens if you have a NAT gateway running, and what happens when there is no NAT gateway.
Okay.
So let me go and create a VPC here.
Sure.
So I request all the audience to bear with us. So it will hardly take 10 to 12 minutes. You will
Okay.
learn a lot here if you are a beginner.
Great.
IT Hero VPC.
And everything is
Defining.
named as IT Hero. That's interesting.
Okay. See, just to keep it simple, the entire CIDR block is in the domain range. I've taken it as 10.0.0./26.
Okay.
And if you take it, I would be able to launch close to see 64. If you take it M32 minus 26, it is 62 to power 6. It might be knowing for 9 network guys. And we have a time constraint. I will not be focusing on explaining all the things. You have Google for this, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is 64 IP address you will get in this CIDR block, and we will divide them into 4 subnets. So first one start with 0 and ends with 15. Second is 16 to 31, 32 to 47, 48 to 63. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
So we are moving ahead with that. 10.0.0/26. So this and all depends upon your requirement. If you need IPv6 CIDR, or if you think that IPv4 is fine, we'll go ahead with that. We'll make sure we'll not get charged anyway in this.
Okay.
So my VPC is defined now. So next thing is based upon the basic thing is internet traffic should come inside your VPC. So what I'll do, I'll create a internet gateway.
Okay.
Create an internet gateway. IT Hero IGW.
Okay.
Okay. Now VPC is separate, IGW is separate. We have not attached it. So we need to go with attaching of it.
Okay. So there's no limit, right? Like we can add only certain amount of internet gateway to a VPC, or we can add 2 internet gateway to one VPC.
No, only one internet gateway can be attached to a VPC.
Okay, so it's 1:1 relationship.
Yes. So I have defined this one. We'll be attaching it. Now we will segregate our entire CIDR block into different subnets.
Okay.
Right. We will go ahead and we'll take up the subnets. So I'm launching it inside our VPC.
Okay.
So quite sometimes ago, we were supposed to add IP as the subnets individually, but now they have made that we can add all the subnet in one shot. So that is a good thing.
Sure.
IT Hero. We will go with the public subnet first.
Okay.
Availability zone, as I told you, it is like AZ1, AZ2. Basically, one region will have 3 availability zone, but I have defined only the 2 here. So you can see A, B, C.
Okay.
So there is some interesting point here. It is not that if you select 2A, it will go and put up in 2A itself, because people would be thinking that 2A all the time. It is seeing first and will go and launch it here.
Okay.
So if everybody goes and launch it here, there will be a problem, right? Nobody is using B and C.
Correct.
So just at the front end, we can see it is 2A, but in the back end behind, it is launching in the different things, different region. Different availability zone.
Okay.
So I'll start with my first one.
16.
Is 28.
8. Okay.
So if you take 28 and to the power of 4 is 16.
Yeah.
So my first subnet is ready.
Okay.
It is public subnet 2. Second public subnet. Now we will launch private subnets.
Okay. So looking at this, I think people should have a little bit of networking background, at least for creating subnets.
Ah,
Yeah.
yes. Okay, so all of my subnets are ready.
Okay.
So it is defined by considering just as a fresher or whoever is willing to start their career in the cloud. So
Uh-huh.
that's the reason I have not made it complicated. We are
Okay.
just going with the basic things.
Okay.
So you can see all my like 4 subnets are ready now.
Yeah.
Okay. So next thing is the communication happens to the route table. Suppose let me say that I have launched a service in public subnet,
Mm-hmm.
but from where and where to where the communication should go and reach.
Mm-hmm. The
That
route.
is where the route table comes into picture.
Okay.
Takes up a route table. So what happens whenever you create a VPC,
Mm-hmm.
one default route table would be created. So you can
Oh.
see here. So this is the main route table.
Okay.
In case you doesn't define any of the route table, all the traffic will be routed to this one. So this is a
Okay.
public route table, which creates whenever you create a VPC, one main route table will be created that is public.
Okay.
So in case if you doesn't define a private route table, there is
Okay.
no use of defining the instance in the
Oh.
private subnet.
Oh.
Automatically, the traffic will be routed via here,
Oh, that's a
right?
crucial thing. Yeah. So once it's defined, we cannot convert it to private.
We can make it by changing the subnet association.
Okay.
So I would say this is the
Mm-hmm.
IT Hero public route table.
Okay.
So let me create another one.
Private.
Private route table to
Okay.
which it is to be attached our VPC
Okay.
table. So this ignore this number, guys. So it is
Mm-hmm.
just a diagram which I picked. I
Okay.
have created a table, but not the
Mm.
route, right?
Okay. Correct.
So I'll go with the routing now.
All right. This is where we're linking our PVC, sorry, the VPCs
Uh, you can
and the route.
whoever is still like working on the on-premises who has good knowledge, they can just compare the things. That's what I told. Underlying infrastructure, everything is same. You just need to compare and start learning it.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. If I take the public route table, what I
Mm.
have told is all the machines which are the services running in the public route table should go through the public subnet. Association should be done for the public subnet.
Okay. Okay.
So this is the route table and association should be done for the subnet, public subnet, right? We'll go edit subnet associations.
Mhm.
We'll only pick public subnets here.
Okay. Okay.
So now I have defined this is the public subnet. Whatever the traffic coming in or going out, take the
Okay.
route as public route table.
Okay.
So my public route table is done and private route table,
Okay.
I'll go with the private
Mhm.
one.
Awesome. Okay.
So now my infrastructure is almost ready.
Yes.
Okay, so this is ready.
Awesome. Okay.
And security group layering, we will directly do it while launching a EC2 machine. So main thing
Okay.
is now we need an application or any of the
Mhm.
machine to be running, right?
Okay.
So I'll quickly create a machine over here. So I'll take up the free one.
Okay.
So it is my inside our required VPC, and I'll be launching it in the public subnet. So guys, please
Okay.
take care, like look at observe here. So I'm launching this one.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Also
So
make
this
sure
is where
auto assign.
we are assigning our VMs.
Yeah, correct. So you're
Mm,
defining your VMs and you will put it where you're in need.
okay.
So I'll create a new security group.
Okay.
The reason being all the traffic will
Mm-hmm.
be allowed here through
Mm.
port 22. Okay, that's why I opened it. So let me keep it as IT group, public security group,
Okay.
preview and launch. So I already I have my key.
Okay.
I'll
Okay.
use that one.
Cool. Okay.
Okay, so my public machine is ready.
Awesome. Okay.
So this is my private machine. I'll be
Mm-hmm.
launching one more machine that is a private machine. I'll show
Okay.
you how the communication happens as well.
Sure. So here we're going to choose private.
Yes, private subnet.
Okay. Okay.
You can see here auto assign public IP is disabled. So you will not get a public
Oh.
IP for your machine.
Oh, nice. Okay. Okay.
So this is my private
Mm-hmm.
EC2
Okay.
machine.
But we need a
So here
jump
also
host.
yeah, we created, right? The previous one was the jump
Jump
host.
host is only okay. Only for public.
Yes, yes, because
Okay.
whoever requires the access to this machine will be communicating via through the jump host.
Okay.
So here
Mm-hmm.
you will be defining that the
Mm-hmm.
traffic we generate from the Bastion host or
Yeah.
this security group only should be allowed to this one,
Mm.
right? So I'll remove the port 22 connection. So
Okay.
I'll only make sure. Okay, so sorry, the SSH should happen only from the things which are in the security group of this one,
Mm.
right?
Okay. Okay.
See, this is a public security group.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Nobody can access it from anywhere else. They should first come here, then
Mm-hmm.
only allowed to here, right?
Okay. Beautiful. Okay.
Okay, I'll quickly finish it off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now my public machine is ready.
Awesome.
Choose the public IP.
Okay.
So as we have told that we'll be communicating to this private instance, so
Mm-hmm.
what needs to be done? You need not to store any of your SSH keys inside this. So
Okay.
just make sure you are using pagent.
Okay.
Pagent is application which allows you to add the keys directly.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Okay, so this is one we have added here.
Okay.
And EC2-user is a default user, and this is my IP address.
Mm-hmm.
Authentication happens via this key. Public machine is the key.
Oh,
So
this
allow
is where
agent
we have to
forwarding.
choose. Okay.
See, allow agent forwarding. Then only the communication happens from here to here,
Okay. Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so here we
Okay.
go, and we are connected with our public machine.
Awesome. Okay.
So this is my public machine, the Bastion host, and we are
Okay.
connected here.
Okay.
If you
Okay.
look at the IP address of this one,
Mm-hmm.
so this is the I need to connect to the public IP, but you
Yeah.
can see the private IP of this one
Okay.
inside this
Oh, okay. So from
10
public, we come to the
10.0.0.8.
private, and then we communicate to the secured ones.
10.0.0.8.
Okay.
So this is my public machine. And
Mm-hmm.
if you want to communicate to the private machine, so we have
Okay.
already pushed the keys. SSH
Mm-hmm.
L EC2-user. I'll pick my private machine,
Okay.
private IP. See, you can see here there is no public
There is
IP
no
for the
public
private
IP.
machine,
Yeah. Okay.
right? We
Okay.
are inside this machine now.
Yeah.
This is my private IP,
Mm-hmm.
the private IP.
Okay.
This is happening because I have defined security group and I have said that suppose the communication is happening from here, accept it.
Okay.
From
Okay.
nowhere, you need to accept it. So this
Hmm.
is one kind. Guys, I hope you are able to understand that we defined the VPC, defined the subnet, and deployed the services by defining the security group and the route table. Now we are at a position where we are able to communicate one side, means to the Bastion host to the internet through the internet gateway with the public internet and communicate to our private machine, right?
Yeah.
Whenever in case your EC2 machine in the private subnet wants to communicate to the outside internet, that
Hmm.
needs to be communicate through the NAT gateway. So let us see
Okay.
how we'll go with the NAT gateway.
Got it. Yeah. So only for outgoing traffic, we have to set up NAT gateway, is it?
Yes. Suppose if you
Okay.
are putting any application there and initial stages, you need to install Apache or any
Uh-huh.
MySQL things. So use a NAT gateway, install it, then remove
Okay.
NAT gateway because NAT gateway costs you.
Oh, it's cost. Okay. 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 Now that you're doing it in lab, will it cost you?
It has like until unless it is attached with the Elastic IP, it doesn't
Oh,
cost me,
okay.
and I need to remove it as soon as it is done because
Oh,
Elastic
understood.
IP is dedicated.
Uh-huh.
That is the reason you will be charged because no others
Okay.
can use it when it is associated for
It's
you.
like static IP.
Uh, yes, exactly, static IP.
Okay.
Public IP is a dynamic one. See,
Okay.
so I am defining the NAT gateway.
Mm-hmm.
Always make sure your NAT gateway is in the public subnet.
Okay.
See, this is a public subnet, and
Mm-hmm.
I am defining it in the public subnet.
Okay. Awesome. Okay.
I don't have any Elastic IP already, so allocate associate IP,
Okay.
Elastic IP. So create a NAT gateway. So I have defined the NAT gateway, but I have not defined to the NAT gateway that from where you should route the traffic. So
Mm-hmm.
that should be through the route table.
Okay.
I'll go to the route table.
Mm-hmm.
So pick up the private route table
Okay.
means whatever the traffic generates from the private subnet
Mm-hmm.
should go through the private route table.
Mm. And
So
then
what I
reach the
need to
NAT
do,
gateway. Okay. So you have to create associated.
correct, go to the edit route table
Okay.
and
Add a route. Mm-hmm.
internet bound traffic which is generating from the private subnet should be routed through the NAT gateway,
Okay. Okay.
right? Okay, so it is set now.
Okay. Great.
So now I am in the private machine.
Yeah.
So 10.0045 is my private machine. It needs outside communication.
Yeah.
So if I say ping www.google.com,
Yeah.
see, you can see now we are able to
Nice.
ping the google.com from the private machine.
Awesome. Okay.
Okay, I'm deleting the NAT gateway. So
Okay.
before deleting the NAT gateway, you need to make sure you release your IP,
Okay.
Elastic IP,
Mm-hmm.
because you delete your NAT gateway and you have you are holding
IPs.
your Elastic IP, you will be charged.
Oh, still I'm going to charge. Okay.
Disassociate your IP address.
Okay.
Okay, Elastic will not be associated. You have
I
not
don't have
permission.
permission. Okay.
It should be there. I'll delete the NAT gateway. I'll take care of it later.
Okay.
Just to show it,
No problem.
right? I have deleted my NAT gateway.
Yes.
If I try to communicate now,
You're not able
it
to.
is not
Yeah.
happening.
Mm.
Yeah, because we don't have a route out.
Yeah. Yeah. You can only do private.
Exactly. So in order to communicate to the outside, you need a NAT gateway. So
Mm.
there are plenty of changes have happened.
Okay.
You suppose all your machines are private and you don't have any Bastion host, you don't need NAT internet gateway itself. As per
Mm-hmm.
the latest update, you just
Oh,
go with a NAT gateway.
NAT gateway directly takes you to the route
So that is what it
DNS.
will. And
Okay.
considering the freshers or the
Mm-hmm.
just the beginners, This
Yeah.
is the best way to start. We have plenty of videos, documents available. I hope this has helped, and at least 10 to 15%, if you guys have understood, I and IT Hero would be happy for this. And I would suggest that we have one of the YouTube channel called Knowledge India in
Okay.
the YouTube. If you go through that one, you would be
Okay.
able to understand the things from the basic. So whatever I did here,
Hmm.
so entire thing for each and every service, so Knowledge India YouTube channel has showed how
Knowledge
to define
India.
it, how to launch it, yes, how to use
Okay.
it.
Nice. I will put that in the description. Yeah.
Sure.
Awesome. Yogendra, I thought this is going to be a simple, demo spinning of VMs and connecting it, but this is a thorough networking session, I should say. From the diagrams that you showed till each and every step, I think that we did it in 5 to 10 minutes. I think in a real project, this will be
Oh,
a longer extended period of work. So good job,
yes,
Yogendra. We really had learned really, really interesting session today. And so I introduced you for the, only for demo. And from now on, I am going to, I am now interested to learn more and more through demo instead of just simply learning and,
definitely.
uh, to
This is the
three
best way.
through theory. Yeah, this is really inspiring. Thank you so much for all your time. And if you have any final words.
Yeah. Nothing, guys. So don't concentrate only on the certificate and think that certificate will land me a job. It is nothing like that. There are people who are technically very good, and they are not even bothered about the certifications. Make sure you are strong with the fundamentals and practice it. Because I have seen many people that they say 8 years, 10 years of experience, and they don't even know. Means they are not unable to differentiate the security group and NACL.
Mm,
That is what I have seen in the real-time environment.
mm,
I'm not saying that I'm an expert. I am also a beginner.
yeah,
So definitely there will be a lot of learnings every day.
yeah, yeah.
Make sure you spend at least 2 hours of your day, because we have
Mm-hmm.
lockdown. You
Yeah.
still will not be called to office definitely till January.
Yeah.
Plenty of time. And I wish everyone all the best, and you also as well.
Sounds good.
Prajwal.
Sounds good. Thank you so much. And we really had a great time. And your future aspirations, I know you're going to land in Ireland so soon. So keep in touch and
Okay.
keep sharing more
Definitely.
information with us.
Yes, yes. Always, always open for the sharing knowledge.
Great. Thanks. Thanks, Yoga. See you around.
Thank you.
Bye for
Thank
now.
you. Bye.
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 IT Hero Podcast Show.